Good morning. My name is Esteban Almeida, and in this video I'm going to talk about how cultural differences affect international negotiation. First, I will discuss three cultural elements that affect negotiation and three personal factors that influence intercultural in negotiation. Then, I will explain an example from this video how cultural differences affect business. Finally, I will describe the most important cultural aspect I would consider if I had to lead negotiation with a Japanese company. According to the test, negotiation strategy across the culture. Cultures play a very important role in the way people negotiation. The first cultural element is communication style. In some culture, like the United States or Germany, communication is very direct and clear. However, in Japanese culture, communication is more indirect and based on context. People often avoid saying no directly in order to maintain harmony. For example, a Japanese negotiator might say, "That could be difficult. Wait." Instead of saying no, is saying no is considered too rude. The second cultural element is attitude toward time. In Western culture, time is very important and negotiations are expected to be fast and efficient. In contrast, in Japan negotiations usually take more time because trust and careful decision making are prioritized. For example, a Western company may feel frustrated if decisions are delayed, but for Japanese companies, this is part of their normal business process. The third cultural hierarchy and power distance in Japanese cultural hierarchy, seniority and position are very important. Important decisions are usually made by senior manager, not by person who is directly involved in the negotiation. Alright. Personal factor affecting intercultural negotiation is the second topic in this video. Yeah. In addition to culture, there are also personal factors that affect intercultural negotiation. The first personal factor is personality. Some people are more confident and direct, while others are more reserved, which can influence the negotiation process. The second factor is language ability. If a negotiator does not have a good level of language, this can create a misunderstanding and reduce confidence. Also making on royal communication. The third factor is cultural experience and awareness. A negotiator who has experience working with different cultures is more flexible and respectful, which leads to better negotiation results. The next topic in this video is explanation of the video how cultural difference affect business. The speaker described a situation she experienced while working in Japan. After giving a presentation, she asked the audience if they have any question. So no one raised their hands. So she assumed there were no questions. All is clear. However, her Japanese colleague explained that in Japanese culture, people do not usually raise their hand or speak literally in public. Instead, interest is shown through nonverbal communication, such as eye contact and facial expression. The colleague was able to identify who had questions by observing whose eyes and focus expressive. This example shows how cultural difference in communication can affect international business and negotiation. If these differences are not understood, they can cause confusion, frustration, and misinterpretation between both parties. The last topic in this video is negotiation with a Japanese company. If I were chosen to lead an international negotiation with a Japanese company, I don't know, Nintendo, I would take a several cultural aspect into account. First, I would focus on respect and etiquette and the cover suits, using formal language, polite behavior, and proper greetings. Second, I would consider indirect communication, avoiding aggressive or confrontational language, and pay attention to non-verbal signals. Third, I would be patient with the decision-making process, understanding that decisions are made collectively and may take long time. Finally, I would focus on building long-term relationships, since trust is extremely important in Japanese business culture. That's it. So, in conclusion, both cultural and personal factors have a strong influence on international negotiation. Understanding cultural difference, especially in Japanese business culture, helps avoid misunderstanding and leads to more successful negotiation. Thanks, thanks you very much for watching. I really appreciate all your time. Bye.